Welcome back everyone to Prime Psych. Giro d'Italia starts in just a few days. So today I will present everything you need to know about this year's route. So first of all, some stats for this year's edition. This year's Giro will cover a total of distance of 3,413 kilometers in total and 44,650 meters elevation gain, which is less than all three Grand Tours previous years. So maybe we can say that this is a bit easier than what we saw last year. It will be 6 flat stages, 8 hilly/mid mountain and 5 high stages and 2 individual time trials as well. So the Giro starts for the first time ever in Albania. 3 exciting stages. Stage 1 is always exciting because of the Battle of the Maglia Rosa, and the first stage will also cover 3 pretty hard climbs, and the last 2 are at 7 kilometers with a gradient of 4.5%, but with steep ramps in the middle of it. The stage has just below 2000 meters in elevation. Here can both the breakaway or one of the big favorites for the race win. And for sure everyone wants to win this first stage because of the opportunity to ride in the Maglia Rosa. Then on stage 2 we already had the first time trial. It's not a hard time trial, it's just 13.7 kilometers with just about 100 meters in elevation. So not that tough, but there is some technical corners. I'm not expecting huge GC gaps in this one, but for sure it is a place for the GC riders to show themselves that they are to count with in the coming weeks. And one of the big favorites for this stage is the youngster Joshua Tarling for sure. Stage 3 is also a hard hill stage where the break could go for a victory. But we're not expecting some GC gaps due to this stage because the last climb is 40 kilometers away from the finish. Then they will flew to Italy. Stage 4, 5 and 6 are all sprint stages, and stage 6 is the longest of the Giro at 227 kilometers. And then on stage 7 we have the proper mountain test with an uphill finish. Not a super hard stage, but it have around 3,500 meters of elevation, and last climb are at 12 kilometers, where the last 2 kilometers are at 10%. So for sure we will see some GC favorites test their legs. Stage 8 and 9 are hilly and suitable for the breakaway. Then we have another rest day before stage 10, which is the second TT, not that hard either. It's at 28.6 kilometers with just about 100 meters of elevation, but we could see for sure some GC gaps maybe. Stage 11, 13 and 14 are hilly stages, and stage 12 are flat. So not too much to say about this block. For sure they will put in some fatigue in the leg for the upcoming days. Before the last rest day will they cover stage 15, which is a hard mountain stage at 220 kilometers with 3,800 meters in elevation, where they will take on the famous climb Monte de Grappa in the middle of the race. The last climb is due far from the finish, so I'm not expecting some huge gaps, but for sure it's a hard climb and a pretty hard stage, so yeah, it will be interesting for sure. Then they have the last rest day, and then stage 16, which is a very hard mountain stage. 200 kilometers with almost 5,000 meters in elevation with 4 categorized climbs, where the last one is at 18 kilometers with 6% in average with steep ramps. Here we will see some big battles for sure, and we are now in the final week, so there will be many guys that are pretty fatigued, so yeah, it will be interesting. Stage 17 is a medium mountain stage with some hard climbs, but the stage it's not that hard that it will shake up the GC. And then we have stage 18, which is a flat one, and then 19 and 20. Stage 19 may be the queen stage of this year's Giro, with almost 5,000 meters of elevation in 5 categorized climbs in the final week. Will be a very tough task for sure. The last climb is not that hard, but for sure they will have some kgs in the legs. Then the last stage, stage 20, that will end up everything in this year's Giro. A 200 kilometer stage where the last 40 k's are brutal. They will take on the famous climb, the Colle Finestre, which is a 18.5 long climb at 9.2%. It goes up to 2,100 meters above sea level in altitude. And not only that, the last 8 kilometers is on gravel for the descent and take on the last climb, which is not that hard, but it's still 16 kilometers, and it will be at 3.8%. And for you guys that remember, it was Finestre that Chris Froome attacked in 2018, where he claimed the victory. And as usual, stage 21 will be in Rome. And so yeah, now you know which stages you will look out for. And yeah, see you in the next one. Ciao.